started. Vance Patterson, good to see you there.
Thank you.
And so our first question is, the 10th Amendment limits the federal government to 30 enumerated powers specified in Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution. What, if any, legislation would you vote against that is not specifically enumerated in Article 1, Section 8, such as any past, present, or proposed legislation? For example, the National Defense Authorization Act.
Good heavens. I want the questions they had. They said it was not hard. What would I vote against? In Article 1, Section 8, as enumerated by... I'm at a blank on this.
Yeah. As enumerated, let me think.
The clock hasn't started
as
yet.
specified in the Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution, as enumerated in Article 1, Section 8.
First clause causes problems. You're talking about like...
again, the example was the National Defense Authorization Act.
Is a violation of a lot of our civil rights here on the local level, as far as Fifth Amendment or Fourth Amendment was search and seizure and that type of thing. Very, very disturbing about how we've lost our rights to privacy and due process, habeas corpus. This is something that really needs to be rolled back and turned around. They've gone too far with this Defense Act here in our on our level. Americans that are being killed overseas, just murdered, is wrong, and that needs to be changed. We just need to roll it back. The emergency is overseas. It is not here right now. And they're getting into us on this kind of thing. Is that the area you're talking about?
That's pretty good. What do you know about Agenda 21? What parts are acceptable?
I've got a lot of experience with Agenda 21, not just in reading up on it, but I ran into it first about 6 years ago when Walmart came to our company and asked us to design a sustainable product. And I told them that our product lasts, we got a lifetime warranty on it. And they said, no, that's not what we mean. We need something that's environmentally friendly. And I said, hey, we're just moving air. You know, we're not hurting the air. And they said, no, we want something that's recycled and all that. So we designed a product that would be sustainable and showed it to them. Took us 6 months, and they didn't want to buy it because it cost too much. Agenda 20, and so I started looking into what the sustainability was. And Agenda 21 started back in 1987 under UN Accord that did a study to show what was causing the problems around the world in pollution and with the environment. And they determined that the poorer countries were the ones that were contributing most to this pollution and problems with population growth, but that the well-off countries were the ones responsible for not bringing those developing countries up. And so they started going after the developing, or the well-off countries, and came out later with Agenda 21, which is Agenda for the 21st Century. And it's the mother of all social re-engineering. And it attacks all areas, and it's in all areas right now. The most recent example I had was when a group came to us down in Blythewood, South Carolina, a developer at Crescent Hills, came in and wanted to do a presentation on a community they were putting together because we deal in passive cooling with our company. And he went through it, and the first thing this guy said, I had my sales and marketing and engineering in there, first thing this guy said was, nice presentation. He said there are 3 things that are destroying mankind: the car, air conditioning, and television. And my guy's jaws hit the table. And I sat there and I said, please don't ask any questions, because I just wanted to get through this. I knew what it was. And it was a pack and stack community that, I mean, it's here, and it's out there, and it's everywhere, and we need to stand up to it. And the first thing I do would be...
Could you follow up on that a little bit?
The first thing I would do would be to hire somebody like Dr. Eichenbaum. And I would sponsor them as congressman of this area and make sure he was in the area and in Raleigh and in Washington, putting that forth and speaking on it. And I would work for a coalition in Washington with other congressmen to come together and stand up to this Agenda 21. It is real, it is hurting us, it is damaging business, and it's everywhere in our lives right now, and it's starting to come out and affect us.
Okay, thank you on that. The next question, this revolves around jobs. What do you see as the government's role, if any, in job creation? To what would you attribute the high jobless rate? If you see no government role in job creation, how do you think the unemployment rate could be reduced? In general, what can be done about joblessness?
The government does not create jobs. The government can provide a firm foundation on which economic growth can take place and jobs developed. And I'm talking about fiscal responsibility, reducing the size of government, reducing regulations, getting a fair tax out there that gets all social engineering out of our tax code. That's what's convoluting it so much. Real job growth is developed in the communities, and it's developed by activity. Now, I don't mean just giving people money and letting them drive up and down the road and spend it, because when that money's gone, it's gone, and that's what happened to our stimulus bill. $787 billion gone 3 years ago, and we still have a flat economy. The activity I'm talking about is business activity, where people like me get around and put together a serious business plan to pull jobs into our community. We have got a quality of life here that is the envy of the world. We've got a good workforce, we've got good education, we've got good transportation and communication. We need to take that message to the world and bring jobs in, bring companies in that aren't relocating. They're coming back. Manufacturing is coming back. I know I'm a manufacturer and I've been seeing it happen for the last year. But the jobs that are coming back aren't the kind that left. They're not the 500 to 1,000 employee companies. They're more like 25 to 100 employee companies. They pay better, they have better benefits, the company cares more about the individuals, and the individuals care more about the company.